is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Oklahoma Sports Network. This is Tracy Mussett. We're at the OG&E Coliseum State Fairgrounds 5A State Tournament Championship game. Carl Albert Lady Titans versus the Newcastle Lady Racers. We've got Gordy Jones down on the court getting ready to interview Coach Kyle Ritchie.
All right, thanks, Tracy. Down here with Coach Kyle Ritchie, championship game. Coach, you worked all season for a moment like this. So what do you tell us on a moment like this? What has allowed the team to reach this championship game so far? Togetherness.
We over me. That's about it.
In a moment like this, Coach, on a morning like this, was the preparation for you any different than any other day?
No. I mean, honestly, Bell City, East Central, before that, transition, block out, no live ball turnovers, good shot selection. 32 minutes is going to be what it's going to take.
What challenges does this team and Amara King present for you today? Anything different from the last game?
Their size.
Size.
But Gordy, I mean, we're good small. We got to be in good shell D. Everybody's got to rebound. 32 minutes.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck.
All right, Gordy, thank you very much there. And he's going to try to get Coach Paranovic here in a bit. We'll see if he has that chance. We'll be ready for it if he does. Tracy's also kind of double duty at the moment there. But Tracy, here we are.
We've got an amazing game in front of us. These two teams have already met once. It was a close game. The Newcastle come out on top. The question is what happens today. We've got our banner sponsor that we want to make mention of today. Whataburger, located on Douglas Boulevard. Whataburger's new Whata deal has big flavor for a small price, like the new Big Ranch Wrap. Premium Whata Chicken Bites or the Bacon Cheese Whataburger Jr. Try one today. And need to go ahead and make mention of our starting lineups as well. Our starting lineups brought to you by Precision Nutrition. For all your nutrition needs and one shaker tea, come to Precision Nutrition at 4603 Southeast 29th Street, Suite 105 in Del City. You want over the phone, come by calling 405-672-0999. Starting lineup for the Carl Albert Lady Titans, sponsored by Precision Nutrition. Number 3.
All right, I got Coach Pete down here.
All right, we're ready to go back to Gordy.
All right, sorry to interrupt, guys. Hey, Coach Pete, you worked all season for a moment like this. What allowed this team to reach a moment in a championship game? Tell us how that feels.
Feels great. I'm proud for the girls. We're going to try to get one more.
All right, anything different preparation?
We'll just get it done.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, Gordy. Well, Gordy's so fast that we could not get the. Yeah. We couldn't get the full interview, but that's okay. Or we couldn't get him on the camera, but we will for whoever wins this game, Tracy.
All right, get back to our starting lineups by Precision Nutrition. Number 3, Hayden Harrell. Number 10, Malia Hatchett. Number 15, Jakari Brown. Number 22, Audrey Plunkett. And number 24, Zoe Johnson. Our starting lineups brought to you by HMS Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing. Ask about the Comfort Keeper program that provides discounts to keep your system running smooth and reliable all year long for the Newcastle Lady Racers. Number 1, Jordan Richardson. And number 3, Jayliana Salas. Number 5, Amara King. Number 15, Kalani Kindred. And number 22, Zaya Sims. We are underway. Newcastle has the opening tip. Mara King has the ball out top. Beautiful new facility at OG&E Coliseum here at the State Fairgrounds. Laid out very much like the old big house. Amara King drives right in, goes off the glass for two. If she has that game going, it's going to be really difficult for the Lady Titans today.
That's the question. Will she try to take over early? How will Carl Albert defend her if she does?
Turnover for the Lady Titans. Salas comes out of there with it. Kindred's going the other way with the ball. She's driving in, finds King under the basket. It's 4-0 quickly.
Newcastle looks a lot more certain in this start than they did for much of the first half of their game against Carl Albert a week ago. See if they can keep up that pressure, that offensive pressure they have.
Hatchett out top of the ball now, passes off to Johnson. Johnson defended by Kindred. Plunkett pulls up at the free throw line, shots up off the glass. It's good.
Fortunate shot. That was off the backboard. But they need a fortunate shot from time to time as Carl Albert against this size. So that will, just from a psychological standpoint, very important shot made there by Plunkett.
And Kindred all the way in, misses the layup. Sims with the rebound. Ball tipped out, foul called.
The problem there is Plunkett did a great job blocking. That was a really great block by Audrey Plunkett. But she was not in rebounding position, and Sims got in rebounding position. She's 6'3". That's where you have to have a lot of help, a lot of, as Coach Ritchie calls that, shell drill, a lot of players in the paint for Carl Albert.
And it was a clean block, but also a hand sweeping across the top. The HMS free throws coming for Isaiah Sims. She's at the line. Remember the Comfort Keeper program that provides discounts and keeps your system running smooth and reliable all year long. And our first period brought to you by Scrambled. We start this game the way you should start your day. For breakfast or brunch, try their chicken and pancakes, deep fried French toast, located at 1742 Northeast 23rd Street, Suite A, Oklahoma City, 405-900-5972. Quick 4-point lead for the Newcastle Lady Racers after the free throws made by Zaya Sims.
That's an important foul call. Zoe Johnson, whoever attacks for Carl Albert, whether it's Zoe or Jakari, even Hayden at times, if they're going to go all the way to the basket, they need to draw a foul because they're going to have a hard time making shots.
Kindred called for the foul. Zoe Johnson shooting the Toonie Buys Houses free throws as she hits as well. Two teams are 3 for 3 from the free throw line here early on.
You got freshmen starting for Carl Albert. You got some sophomores starting for Newcastle. What a big environment for some very young individuals.
The freshman hits both free throws for Carl Albert, makes it a 2-point game, 6-4. Richardson brings the ball up the court.
Zoe's guarding last year's freshman sensation for Carl Albert, Jordan Richardson, now playing for Newcastle. She takes up a wild shot. Good boxing out by Carl Albert.
Johnson's got a 2-on-2 with Harrell. Harrell take the three. Boom! It's the Bobby Lewis Insurance 3 for Hayden Harrell. Bobby Lewis Insurance has surprisingly great rates, and 2 locations serve you in Choctaw at 405-281-6700 and Del City at 405-670-3665.
I can't tell you how big that is. Carl Albert has gotten this far because they are shooting the ball so well.
King drives in under pressure, misses the shot. Rebound Harrell. She bringing the ball up the court.
And the Titans have several players who can knock down threes. Really everyone on the rotation will. You won't see Hatchett or Plunkett look for the three as much, but they can both hit threes as well. And they did against Newcastle last week.
Brown out top of the ball. Screen set by Plunkett. Brown goes left off the screen. Plunkett now has it. 3 from the top of the key. Front of the rim. King with the rebound.
King wants to keep it instead of throwing an outlet pass.
Hatchett staying with her down the court. King gets around her in the paint. And not a real good shot selection there. Plunkett on her, and Plunkett gets the rebound.
Yeah, King needs to look for Sims in that steal. Oh, what a steal.
Salas just takes it away. King goes uncontested to the basket. And it's a 1-point lead again for Newcastle. Timeout by Coach Ritchie.
Well, we want to let people know that we are on the Newcastle side, Tracy, so their baskets should generate more noise for those watching. And we're also fortunate to have this scoreboard. I couldn't trim it very well there. You see that go off the video there. But it will come back on when we get back to the game.
Yeah, quick correction. I said Coach Ritchie of Carl Albert called the timeout. It's Coach Paranovic of Newcastle who called that timeout. It is a 30-second timeout, and this is a good opportunity to talk about our title sponsor. We ask you to join Coach Vic and Tony Johnson on Oklahoma High School Girls Between the Lines as they deliver thoughtful analysis, in-depth conversations, and meaningful coverage of programs across the state. You see their logo up in the upper left. It is, we'll get that back on the screen. Cast to full high school girls sports, specifically Oklahoma High School Girls Between the Lines, with Coach Vic and Tony Johnson, our title sponsor. Johnson brings the ball to the court for Carl Albert. Jakari Brown going right, pushes off of Salas a little bit.
I think you're going to see a lot of switching from Newcastle.
Now, the last couple of days down at Lloyd Noble Center, Jordan, we've had some confusion seeing players step back behind the NCAA line a couple of times. Yep. We have only a high school line here. Brown misses the shot. I believe we have a foul called on the shot. Her feet were on the line, and Salas gets called for the foul.
I think Carl Albert, one of the things that they did to get out to that lead against Newcastle when they played last week, they got fouled many different ways, including shooting jump shots. And Newcastle's just got to be smarter than that. When you have size like that, one of the great neutralizers for your size is when you foul and send other teams to the free throw line, and you don't want to foul Jakari Brown. But so far, Carl Albert's doing what they need to do to stay in this game in spite of Newcastle's height advantage. They're getting to the free throw line. Including
hitting those Toonie Buys Houses free throws. Toonie Buys Homes in any condition. If you're someone you know needs to buy a home for any or sell a home for any reason, call today for a cash offer, 405-931-3046. Kindred driving all the way in, and she's going to score and one as Jakari Brown gets called for the foul.
Carl Albert's got to help better. You can't let Kindred go one-on-one with her defender unless it's Plunkett. That's going to be a mismatch when she gets close to the paint. They have to send help, and her defender, which I believe is Jakari Brown, has to draw a charge or try to draw a charge.
Kalani Kindred misses the HMS free throw. Rebound by Brown. She pushes the ball down the court. Harrell thought about the three. Plunkett will take it. Front of the rim. Open look. Away outside. Pressure by Carl Albert. Loose ball taken away. Malia Hatchett misses the layup and a foul called. Shocked that there was not a foul on Carl Albert during that press. And I really didn't see a foul on the shot by Malia Hatchett, but some contact there.
I thought there was a little bit of a push-off. You don't want your hand on a player when she's shooting like that. I think that's what happened. But you're right. Before that, there should have been a foul on Carl Albert. So they got away with one there.
11-9, the Newcastle lead. Malia Hatchett hits the Toonie Buys Houses free throw. She can tie it up again here with 3:47 left to play.
The interesting thing about Malia Hatchett, her dad is here, but he's working. He can't just be a fan. And that's got to be really tough on Lenny. I wonder how he's handling it. We know who he wants to win, obviously. He's going to root for his daughter and his friend, Coach Ritchie, but he's here at work right now, working for the OSSAA.
Hatchett misses the second free throw. It's 10-10 as the score. King brings the ball to the court, gives it back to Kindred to set up the offense. Tolliver in the game now for Newcastle. Gets the ball inside. Going against Hatchett. Dribbles off her own leg. Falls on it. Jump ball is going to get called. And possession arrow goes to Newcastle.
Should be tight in basketball.
I didn't know we'd had a jump ball at this point.
Well, the very opening tip, Newcastle won the tip.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't think we had a possession change since then. So I believe you're right. So, it is Carl Albert basketball. I was looking at the score table. Okay, thank you.
I made the same mistake yesterday.
Yes, the score table across the court throws us off on the arrow direction.
Only in the first half.
Brown falls down after a three, trying to sell a foul. She misses the shot up the front of the rim. Sims pulls down the rebound, and Kindred's pushing the ball back up the court. And an offensive foul called on Kindred on the screen.
Get that.
This state tournament as a whole, all three rounds, the officials have been, I'm going to say, pretty strict in the way that they've called screens, the way that they have called the 5-second count on defense, some things that we just I don't feel like we've seen them call that way all year long, and it's been strict in the state tournament.
Yeah, but we've also seen players get leveled and no call too on screens. So hopefully we'll have consistency with that. That's the only thing we can ask for.
Plunkett driving
what a
in.
shot.
I thought she lost control of the ball, but no, she had full control and puts it in the hole. 2-point lead for Carl Albert once again, 12-10.
Now Plunkett is switching on King, and King still gets to the basket easy.
King
dishes
it to Sims and runs over Kinley Sutton, who's now in the game, draws the charge.
Well, I didn't see Sutton there. That doesn't mean she wasn't, but I totally missed that. And that's what you have to do for Carl. Carl Albert can neutralize size really well because they have players that will draw charges, and Kinley Sutton did right there.
King with 2 fouls early in the game, just like yesterday. I know Coach Peranovic was very frustrated with some calls that didn't go his way early yesterday. Don't think he could complain about these calls too much right now.
I still don't know about the illegal screen.
Well, that was on Kindred, not King at least.
Yeah, nice crossover.
Plunkett driving in, misses the layup. Sims with the rebound. Tolliver at the top of the key. Picks up her dribble. I thought Sims was going to shoot a three for a moment there. Richardson trying to take the baseline. Brown cuts her off.
And King, I think, is out. We didn't get her foul total, but it may have been her second.
It was her second foul, yes.
And that's been the story of this tournament. King has gotten in foul trouble every game here.
The whole tournament, yes. Chloe Young in the ball game now for Newcastle. Solis at the top of the key. She was open, goes left. Sims in the middle. Sims goes to the hole, misses the layup, and Sutton pulls down the rebound for Carl Albert. Zoe Johnson goes right, loses her dribble, and chases down the ball. Shakari Brown in the paint, drags a foot, no call, puts up the shot, 8 feet out, puts it in. It's a 4-point lead for Carl Albert.
Well, Jakari Brown can be a difference maker because she can hit mid-range shots like that, even with a hand in her face. And that's an important attribute against a team that if they send one of their tall players to the paint, you're going to have a hard time shooting over if you get all the way to the basket.
And Young driving in, misses a shot, ball goes out of bounds off the hands of Carl Albert. Baseline inbound play coming for Newcastle.
But Jakari Brown does not have to get all the way to the basket. She just has to get to her spots, and she can be very effective.
So, Jordan, we were talking yesterday. We talked to Coach Peranovic about it in one of our interviews. Solis for three. Boom! It's the HMS. Cooling, heating, and plumbing three-pointer by Juliana Solis.
Well, when you see the inside game for Newcastle has not been effective lately, those type of shots become all the more important.
Scramble and
they're going to call a foul on Newcastle.
Oh, that's 5 on them.
Dive to the floor there by Tolliver.
Just gets on top of Harrell. I think Harrell's a little upset right now, too. Her teammate's trying to calm her down, and she's really doing her best there for a moment to try to go confront Tolliver, and she finally cools down.
I didn't see it, but maybe Tolliver did do something excessive. It just looked like she was diving for the ball like a player normally would in that situation.
Well, Harrell thought she did something excessive, and the officials thought there was a foul. So, of course, we had players, media down between us and them that we couldn't really see the full play. 2-point lead. It is Harrell shooting the Tootie Buys Houses free throws. She hits the first.
And it was a similar situation for Newcastle in their first game against Glenpool. Ooh, air ball by Harrell.
That's going to allow for the substitution, though, as Hatchett checks in and Harrell takes a seat.
But
Richie going to give her a chance to cool down a little bit.
What I was going to say, though, is Glenpool got a lot more free throw attempts in that game, even bigger, more inside-oriented team. And that's just something that Brace should have to deal with. They just get they can be a target sometimes for foul calls because of their size.
Emerson Marble in the ball game now for Newcastle. She takes the pass on the left wing. She got called for that moving screen yesterday when she got leveled. That was one of the calls that Coach Peranovic was upset with. Solis for three.
That should count.
Off the glass.
No, they don't count.
They say it doesn't count.
Wow.
I didn't think it counted.
I thought it did, but
it was so close. If only there were a review here, but there's not in high school, and the officials say it doesn't count. Coach Peranovic, he's just tilting his head, looking at the officials going, come on, guys. The Newcastle fans booing the officials on that call. And that could be a big play as Newcastle trailing by 2 after the scrambled first period here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray. We are back at, got some video of us there. Yeah, we like to see our pretty faces on the screen. Back at the OG&E Coliseum, State Fairgrounds in Oklahoma City, 5A Girls State Championship. The Carl Albert Titans lead the Newcastle Racers 15-13 after one period of play. Our second period brought to you by Bell Bonds by Tamara. If you missed the ball and paying a ticket, call Bell Bonds by Tamara. 405-200-5110. 15-plus years of serving the community. Travel called on Newcastle on a missed shot. Ball goes back to Carl Albert with a 2-point lead, 15-13.
Kindred attacked the paint, but again, Carl Albert's going to make it tough. They're going to cut her off at times, and her footwork just was not what it needed to be to change her direction and get a good shot off.
Brinley Crawford steps inside the 3-point line for the long 2 and gets called for the travel. So equal turnovers here to begin the second period.
Carl Albert has freshmen in this game. Newcastle has the sophomores. Carl Albert has the better seniors, though, so we got a little bit of everything as far as classification goes.
Newcastle, the taller team on average.
Yep.
And 3 from the corner, no good. Crawford with the rebound for Newcastle.
But I would definitely say Carl Albert's the better shooting team.
Jakari Brown setting up the offense for the Lady Titans. The zone defense by Newcastle. Brown out top. Sutton in there at the high post. Crawford at the low post now. Plunkett taking a rest here early in the second. Hatchett gives it to Crawford in the corner. Around King, takes the baseline. Nice move, doesn't make the shot. That was Sutton. Crawford gets the rebound, jump ball, and possession will stay with Carl Albert.
And even though we'll say Carl Albert's the shorter team, they will still get offensive rebounds because they position themselves well off any missed shot, whether it's from short range or a long range shot.
And we say shorter team, but we won't clarify. It's not a short team by any means.
Coach Ritchie would say, yeah, they are a short team. But
yeah, compared to Newcastle, right?
No, he'll say that against anybody.
Okay.
But, yeah, Carl Albert's not a small team by any means. They're just going to be noticeably shorter than Newcastle at some positions.
Yeah, some height at Plunkett. Then they've got some size with the Crawford girls and Sutton that can come in. They can body up on anybody down in the paint. Harrell running point now with Richardson on D. No one scored the first minute of this second period. Brought to you by Bell Bonds by Tamara. Brown defended by Salas out top. Sutton for the deep 3, back iron. King with the rebound.
Let's see if she goes coast to coast.
Going to kick it out. Kindred for 3. Shot no good. Sims gets a rebound, puts up the shot, draws the foul.
King probably would have gone coast to coast, trying for a layup inside if she didn't have 2 fouls, because, again, you got to respect Carl Albert's ability to draw a charge. She kicked it out to Kindred. Kindred, we haven't seen her shoot a lot of threes there, but she did on that one. Fortunately for Newcastle, Sims is there for the rebound. By the way, Gordy, any thoughts? You with us here?
Just like what I see, I'm going up and going down the court, Jordan. Just really kind of like the pace of this offense, of both offenses. Actually, you can see like both of these teams are so used to playing one another. As far as from that last game goes, everybody's kind of be just a little bit more cautious on these offensive sets. But like I said, some good up and down right now. Just love kind of the physicality that's kind of going on from both teams.
Yeah, Gordy's by the Carl Albert side on the opposite court, with where the sidelines are, where the players are.
Sims misses the first and hits the second of the HMS Cooling Heating Plumbing free throws.
And they got the score wrong. Hopefully, Tracy, they'll fix it. It should be 15-14. You're going to hear some Newcastle fans yell about it.
Yeah, they put that free throw on the wrong side.
That should not happen.
Three, boom! It's the Bobby Lewis Insurance three for Carl Albert. It should be 18-14 now. They got the Newcastle point corrected. Now they can put the three for Carl Albert up there. The scoreboard will be correct. They still haven't added it. Coach Ritchie's asking about it.
Feels like we've just seen too much of that this year, Tracy's scoreboard problems.
You know, it's a challenge in the playoffs when you get scoreboard operators that are not familiar with the two teams, and home team and visiting team, they're not used to it, and you got to remember. We'll get this straightened out in just a minute. The scorebooks should be correct unless the official scorekeeper was talking to the clock operator and missed it. They got it corrected now.
But I just don't know why that takes so long. Oh, well, no harm done here, other than just a bit of a delay.
Well, coach should not have to bring that to the official's attention and have a stoppage in play to correct points on a scoreboard. And I think the problem is they put the one free throw on the wrong side, and in paying attention to fixing that, they completely missed that there was another bucket scored. I've seen it happen. It's easy to make mistakes. We're all human.
Nice move. What a play by King. Avoiding that charge attempt by Sutton. The way she can move her feet for her size is so impressive.
King just takes call it a Euro hop in the paint, and then does the underhand scoop with a little spin on the ball off the glass. Brown on the right wing. Carl Albert the ball. 2-point lead, 18-16. 4:48 to play in the bell bonds by Tamara's second. Zoe Johnson goes left. Harold, that zone defense by Newcastle. They've got all that height inside. Just, I would say right now, daring Carl Albert to keep shooting the outside shots, but they've got the reach to not give them a clean look. Harold for three.
Same
the
spot.
open shot, and she shoots an air ball.
King tried to save it.
And she does.
Unfortunate, but I don't know why she did. He's going to be out on Carl Albert. But I think it ended up working for Newcastle because it leads to a foul.
Yeah, it ended up being a foul on Kinley Sutton.
So only the second on Carl Albert. And you guys can watch the team fouls on the screen, which is that is one nice thing about being here. We can give even more details, specific details about team fouls and timeouts, which I think is nice.
Yeah, the scoreboard is great here in the new OG&E Coliseum.
Yeah.
Amara King ties it up, 18-all.
For her sake, for Newcastle's sake, she has got to avoid that third foul because they're a different team when she's in.
And 2 fouls on Carl Albert, none on Newcastle here in this second period.
Newcastle has a lot of other nice pieces, but what they don't have is someone that can create their shot and get from the perimeter of the paint real easily and get a good shot off.
Salas hands off to Brown, and now Harrell will set the offense back up. They're going to leave Hatchett 3 out there until she takes a shot, and she's not going to shoot very often, and I think Newcastle knows it.
Well, she did hit a 3 against Newcastle in their game last week. I went back and watched some of that game, and so she will shoot from time to time, but she doesn't look for it, so it is not a bad strategy for Newcastle to kind of lay off her right now.
Yeah, it's not that she can't shoot, she just doesn't take it very often. They did not call the travel, and a foul called as Zoe Johnson goes up for the shot. I would say that Carl Albert's gotten away with a couple of travels in this game.
It's significant because Zoe Johnson made a really good cut for a freshman. Again, she's got so many skills and great instincts, and she gives Carl Albert back the lead with Toonie Bice-House's first free throw.
It's the first one. Second shot is up, and it's good as well. Carl Albert shooting very well at the free throw line today.
Yeah, they're doing everything they need to do to win here. They're hitting some threes. They're getting to the free throw line. They defended the paint as well as they can.
Kinder drives low, kicks the ball across the court. Salas for 3. Boom! This is the HMS Cooling Heating and Plumbing 3, and Newcastle's back on top by 1.
One thing Carl Albert will have to gamble with, they're going to have to live with Salas and Richardson shooting some threes. They've made a couple.
Brown and Harrell out top playing catch. Johnson, left wing, drive in, floater, no good, foul called. That on Kindred? That'll be her second.
Kindred or Sims?
Kindred.
That's twice they fouled jump shooters.
That's her third foul already. I missed one. That's crazy, 3 fouls on Kindred already. And Zoe Johnson at the line again. Hits the first of the Tootie Buys Houses free throws. Second shot is up. It's good as well. And it's a 1-point lead for Carl Albert. Don't know how many lead changes we've had here in this first half. Turnover on the inbound play. Jakari Brown in the paint. Shot up. No good. Salas with the rebound. Salas defended by Brown. Still in the backcourt, knocked down, and Brown got a knee into her. A foul on Jakari Brown. Second personal on Brown. Third team foul on Carl Albert.
So without Kindred, Newcastle will be a little bit smaller, but not that small. That's just another reason why King needs to step up for him. And they're going to have their freshman Young in. Now, in her case, she's got to make smart decisions with the ball because she's the only freshman that hasn't played a lot, but with Reagan Greenroyd's injury, she's gotten more minutes.
Richardson takes the inbound pass in the backcourt. Harrell on her, crosses the timeline now. King at top of the key, defended by Audrey Plunkett. King trying to drive, Plunkett stays in front of her. Chloe Young in the corner, offensive foul on Zaya Sims. She comes back with a kind of an elbow swing, just trying to clear out some space and catches Kinley Sutton in the chin. And it wasn't like throwing elbows, it was pulling her arms back. Had her arms up in the air and pulled them back hard and caught Sutton in the face. That might have been a flagrant foul in the NCAA or NBA.
They might review it, yeah.
Anything above the shoulders, you know.
But Newcastle has made more mistakes this game. Carl Albert's only up by 1, but Newcastle's made way more mistakes, fouling jump shooters and committing offensive fouls. But that's what Carl Albert can draw. They're good at making you make those mistakes.
Carl Albert working the ball around the perimeter, finds Plunkett at the elbow. She pulls up, front of the rim, shot no good. Tolliver with the rebound. Chloe Young, 1-on-2 fast break. She goes the hole and makes the bucket.
I love how she just caught it, was decisive. She just went up and attacked. She's got a lot of size to her as well. Very impressive move by the Newcastle freshman.
Johnson throwing an elbow, or a shoulder, I should say, into Young. Plunkett going in, misses a shot, and Harrell gets the rebound. Sims falls to the ground inside if she gets hit hard. Bodies flying, no fouls called, and
timeout.
A timeout called. The Newcastle fans wanting a 5-second call as Harrell was trapped in the corner, and Coach Kyle Ritchie calls the timeout. It will be a 30-second timeout.
Hey, Gordy, how's the Carl Albert crowd?
Carl Albert's crowd's kind of a little bit quiet over here, Jordan, surprisingly. I think the intensity of this game, everybody's just a little bit tense. It's much louder and much more activity on that Newcastle side that you guys are on for sure.
Yeah, Newcastle fans are starting to stand and cheer. They were calling for a 5-second count there and made their voices heard. They were booing earlier on a call. We'll see if the Carl Albert fans get into this one with a little more intensity.
Well, you know, it's the interesting thing here. We haven't talked about this. Carl Albert has a longer drought since they won a state title in girls basketball. It's been 26 years. By the way, you know who else broke a 26-year streak? You told me about him. Norman,
yeah, absolutely.
Corey Cole led his alma mater to a state championship after a 26-year streak.
Buzzer beater win over Mustang last night in the state championship game.
Kyle Ritchie trying to do the same, lead his alma mater, Carl Albert, to break a 26-year drought.
And Zoe Johnson, a lot of contact, goes up, hits the floor hard. Amara King comes out of there with the ball, poked away, and Plunkett poked it away. Johnson gets it. Right back to Plunkett.
Wow.
Salas,
what a steal that was. We've seen some good defense here.
Salas from the elbow. Jumper's good. 3-point lead now for Newcastle.
Mark that play down by Salas. That was an amazing steal. and no one picked her up from Carl Albert, so she went all the way to the right elbow, a little bit inside from that, and made a really good play. Another 30-second timeout.
Coach Paranovic has taken both of his 30-second timeouts. An interesting note, he's taken both of them after a Newcastle score.
Yeah, I mean, I think probably the bigger problem for Newcastle is, or the more important thing to address, is their defense. They got to try to defend without fouling. They did a good job the last couple of possessions, including that steal from Salas. Coach, Gordy, are you closer to the Newcastle bench or Carl Albert bench? Any thought on how either coach is doing?
Actually, just listening to the timeout of Coach Ritchie, really just drew up and said, really the message that Coach Ritchie had there was just kind of buckle down at this moment. These defensive sets, he's pretty much told them to kind of keep their composure going into at the ending of this second half, not to pick up any unintentional fouls there.
All right, Gordy, if you get an interview with the coach at halftime, that's fine. Just let us know.
No doubt.
We have 25 seconds left to play here in this Bell Bonds by Tamara second period. 3-point lead for Newcastle. Carl Albert has the ball. Audrey Plunkett out top of the mark, King on defense. Now Harrell sets up the offense. Tolliver defending her. Newcastle fans on their feet in front of us. Zoe Johnson out top. 10 seconds now left to play in the half. Plunkett, left wing, 5 seconds. Plunkett crossover, 2 seconds. He has to go up. Buzzer sounds before Carl Albert gets a shot off.
No, that's no controversy. She made the shot, but that was more obvious than the Newcastle shot that didn't count at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, there was no question on Audrey Plunkett's shot just then. Just waited too long. Good defense by Mara King to prevent the shot getting off by Audrey Plunkett. And it is a 3-point Newcastle lead at halftime. 25-22 is the score after the Bell Bonds by Tamara second period here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Car Wash. We know how to love your ride. Try the Works Wash with our signature 14-step cleaning process, engineered to shine and shield your car from the elements. From breaking down dirt and bugs with our Detox Pre-Wash to restoring your vehicle's finish with our ceramic body wax. Give your car the best with our Top Wash. Then complete the clean with free vacuums and mat washers. Download our app and get your first 30 days of the Works for free. Tommy's Express. Love your ride.
Like there was a time when you'd have to put a hole there and 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 there. But this is just the same basic hole, and then you pick the direction you want to go.
Just having a 3-mile lateral, I think you're eliminating something like 60 wells that you'd have to put in.
That's a great leap forward.
You're able to tap the reservoir, and you have less of a footprint.
It never fails to blow me away.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rollovers. If you've been in a wreck, don't hesitate to call us.
This is why you need our number in your phone. This could be you.
When you call our firm, you're going to get one of us, not some paralegal or office manager.
Most lawyers, they take more money than their clients. Most of the time, a lot more.
We don't, and we guarantee it.
Isn't just where you live, it's where you thrive. Elevate it with a roof that reflects your standards. At Cantrell Roofing, we deliver efficiency and high-quality installations. Our A-plus BBB certified team performs the highest level of craftsmanship, and our in-house insurance adjuster handles claims fast and stress-free. Backed by 30 years of experience, our 5-star Google rating reflects the trust we've earned. The better your roof is built, the better it holds up in the Oklahoma weather. Remember, got hail? Call Cantrell.
Introducing Pioneer's new fiber internet bundle plans. Start with gig fiber internet, then add up to 3 options like Arlo secure outdoor cameras and a video doorbell. Fast, secure, and made for
35% of all auto accident deaths were rollovers.
This is why you need our number in your phone. This could be you.
Stuck inside for Wi-Fi? Not this summer. With Pioneer Fiber, get backyard Wi-Fi up to 950 feet from your home. So you can binge, game, Zoom, or work straight from your hammock. Add it for just $9.95 a month or get it free with a gig bundle. That's cheaper than your cold brew fix. Visit a Pioneer store or gopioneer.com and level up your summer.
Like there was a time when you'd have to put a hole there and 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 there. But this is just the same basic hole, and then you pick the direction you want to go.
Just having a 3-mile lateral, I think you're eliminating something like 60 wells that you'd have to put in.
That's a great leap forward.
You're able to tap the reservoir, and you have less of a footprint.
It never fails to blow me away.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rollovers. If you've been in a wreck, don't hesitate to call us.
This is why you need our number in your phone. This could be you.
When you call our firm, you're going to get one of us, not some paralegal or office manager.
Most lawyers, they take more money than their clients. Most of the time, a lot more.
We don't, and we guarantee it.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray, Gordy Jones back at OG&E Coliseum State Fairgrounds for the 5A Girls State Championship game. It is a good competitive back-and-forth ball game. We're at halftime, and the Newcastle Lady Racers lead the Carl Albert Lady Titans by 3, 25-22 here at half. And as we look at some of the statistics from the first half, I think it's important to note Carl Albert's winning the rebounding battle 12-8. 9 fouls called on Newcastle, only 9 fouls called on, 9 fouls called on Newcastle, only 5 called on Carl Albert. Leading scorer in the game is Amara King with 10 points, followed by 8 points for Salas for Newcastle. Yep. 7 points for Hayden Harrell, the leading scorer for Carl Albert. 6 points for Zoe Johnson. So the guards getting most of the scoring done for Carl Albert here in this first half. Carl Albert's 10 for 12 from the free throw line to 3 out of 5 for Newcastle. And as I look at the field goal percentages, Newcastle is 10 for 18 from the field. Carl Albert only 5 for 16 from the field. So,
but why is it close? Free throws.
Yeah, absolutely.
Carl Albert getting the free throw line more. Surprising because they're the smaller team, but they're just good at knowing how to draw fouls. Newcastle struggles with fouling too much. They fouled a couple of jump shooters, and that who can adjust more to the foul game? That will be a big deal in this second half.
Zoe Johnson, the second leading scorer for Carl Albert, has all 6 of her points from the free throw line in the first half. And we're underway in this Patrick Newby Farmers Insurance third period. The QR code is up in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. You can scan that for a quote or call 405-733-7671. They are a local family-owned agency since 1978, Patrick Newby Farmers Insurance.
So we see Kindred back in. And she's got 3 fouls, so it's interesting, Coach Paranovic trusting Kindred to not get in foul trouble. Speaking of new players in, though, Carl Albert's got a new player in.
Carl Albert has
King. Boy.
King and Kindred scoring early in the second half, a 7-point lead for Newcastle.
So we have one of the Crawfords in, Tracy, I believe, for Malia Hatchett.
Yeah, Brindley Crawford in right now.
Again, teams normally use their starting lineups in the third quarter, so it's always interesting when a coach goes away from that.
Jakari Brown puts up a shot in the paint and draws a foul.
Again, Jakari Brown doesn't try to get all the way to the basket, does not have to beat you with her speed. She's just really crafty at getting into the paint and making a mid-range shot to maybe a little bit less than a mid-range shot or getting to the foul line, and that's very important that she did that right there because Newcastle was starting to get a big lead.
Jakari Brown hits the Toonie Buys Houses free throw. Remind you that Toonie Buys Homes in any condition. If you're someone you know needs to sell a home for any reason, call today for a cash offer at 405-931-3046.
And, no matter what, this is the last time we're going to see Jakari Brown and Audrey Plunkett wear a Carl Albert uniform, 2,000-plus point scores, and we're going to miss them. Those two are fun to watch, no matter what happens here.
Drives in, misses a shot, gets her own rebound. Ping pong out there with the ball, and Jakari Brown now pushing it up the court. Right into the trees, it draws the foul again, going back to the line.
Yeah, Coach Paranovic has to be talking to the refs. Listen, she's going to throw her body at us. That doesn't mean that's a foul every time. We'll see if that type of lobbying might be successful or not, but Jakari Brown knows how to adjust.
I think he's actually pointing down here on the other end of the court. He's a little frustrated with something that happened that led to Carl Albert getting that ball that was just bouncing around down there. Maybe a little hack on Jordan Richardson that knocked the ball out of her hands. Now Malia Hatchett checks in. Brindley Crawford takes a seat. Jakari Brown hits the free throw. Second shot's up. Toonie Buys Houses hits that one. It's a 3-point game again. 29-26 is the score. Kindred brings the ball up the court, crosses the timeline. Hatchett defending. Kindred driving on her, goes in, puts it in for 2. Easy bucket for Kalani Kindred.
She came close to getting a tee for maybe staring at Malia Hatchett, I think, but she turned away in time. And I don't think she was doing anything unsportsmanlike. I think Kindred is just feeling it a bit. She's had a couple of good plays to start this third quarter.
5-point lead for Newcastle again here. 6 minutes to play in the Patrick Newby Farmers Insurance third period. Johnson cut off by Salas. Spin move off the glass, misses the shot.
Great move.
King gets the rebound, and Johnson's going to get called, I believe, Johnson. It may have went on Plunkett.
Plunkett. We will find out.
I think that foul went on Plunkett.
She and Plunkett.
No, it's on Johnson.
Okay.
All right.
But both of them are kind of irreplaceable. They don't have another guard they can bring off the bench like Johnson. And Plunkett, of course, is irreplaceable for many reasons. And she may play this whole half unless she gets in foul trouble.
Driving in, foul on Plunkett.
And Plunkett did not stay. I think Plunkett swiped at Kindred there. Kindred is taking over right now. She looks a little banged up. She may have fallen hard on her right side.
She's coming back to the line to shoot the HMS Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing free throws.
See, I refer to Newcastle as having the triple towers, kind of like you might see at a castle, you know. But two of them are basically big guards, so that would be Kindred and King. That duo, with their size and athleticism, the fact they're only sophomores, it's kind of scary. And Sims is more of a true post player.
Sims got in there around Plunkett for the rebound, but Kindred made both of the HMS Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing free throws. Full court pressure from Newcastle now.
Kindred has been outstanding this quarter.
Carl Albert gets the ball down the court. Plunkett goes right, around Salas, off the glass, and one.
It's the equalizer I was talking about. The Carl Albert guards, Zoe Johnson and Brown, have done such a good job at attacking. And again, they're not trying to get all the way to the paint, just get to a spot and drawing a foul. They both have been outstanding at it, and they're keeping Carl Albert in this game.
Zoe Johnson with a Toonie Buys Houses free throw, misses the shot. Sims pulls down the rebound, and Kindred will bring the ball up the court. 5-point lead for Newcastle, 5:25 left to play in this third period. Kindred defended this time by Plunkett.
Oh, well, we can hand off or not? Almost a
botched
like handoff there.
Quarterback and a running back not knowing who's keeping the ball and both dropping it, right?
Yeah, but in basketball, as long as you retain possession.
Richardson shoots the three. Shot no good. Ball bounces around. Plunkett finally comes up with it.
Richardson's been quiet. Almost got a steal there.
She steps in front of Hayden Harrell, knocks the ball out.
Those two have been with each other a lot. I imagine they saw each other a lot in practice last year. Hayden Harrell and Jordan Richardson. Richardson now switched on Jakari Brown, another player, of course, she'll be familiar with, the former Carl Albert Titan. She's been quiet this game from an offensive standpoint.
Harrell setting a screen on Kindred. And Jakari Brown for three. Boom! It's the Bobby Lewis Insurance three for Jakari Brown. Cuts the lead back to 2. Brown knocks the ball out.
Man, Jakari Brown is single-handedly keeping them in this game. And Newcastle may want to pay a little bit more attention to her, meaning that, you know, they have a lot of help when she has the ball, but they also try to deny her the ball at times.
Kindred bringing the ball up to court. Plunkett defending. Backs down Plunkett, tries to take the baseline. Plunkett cuts her off, picks up her dribble, and kicks it out to Sims.
Sims got in her way.
Kindred again. Plunkett just staying in front of her, not giving her anything. Back out to Tolliver. Just trying to get the ball in Kindred's hands to open something up. She takes the long three and shoots the air ball. She was way out by the sideline. And Carl Albert with a chance to tie it up or take the lead on this possession.
You know, you see players take impatient shots like that. It's like they already have a shot clock programmed in their mind. And that was a rush shot that they didn't need by Kindred.
King comes out on Harrell. Harrell passes off to Brown. Sutton for three. Boom! It's a Bobby Lewis Insurance three. And Carl Albert retakes the lead by 1. Outside shooting for Carl Albert today. And free throws. Kindred out top. Trying to drive on Plunkett. Picks up her dribble.
Seriously, Carl Albert only has 4 made threes, but it feels like they have more. But you combine those with the free throws. I think we're going to have a timeout by Newcastle.
Coach Paranovic called for a timeout. Amara King is spending a lot of time on the floor. I don't know. She's just getting tangled up with defenders, and she's going down a lot. I don't know if she's trying to draw a foul or if they're actually knocking her down, but almost every possession, she's going down on the floor. We got a full timeout. We'll take one as well on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray, Gordy Jones. Gordy with us as a sideline reporter today, and Gordy coming out of the timeout. Any news for us? I catch you off guard there, Gordy.
I'm sorry.
No, we're good. Anything from the timeout?
Yeah, no, like I said, sitting here watching Coach Ritchie and the rest of the Titans really decisive on how they wanted to execute these next going into the half. What he really wanted to make a point of, Tracy, was seeing if they could try to run this play. They've gotten a lot of open three-pointers. What he really didn't want to do was give up any more fouls to the Newcastle Racers. He's really just trying to tell them to stay disciplined on that defensive end and try to see if they can get some more stops.
Kinley Sutton called for a foul under the basket.
On the floor.
Plunkett doing a good job of just not allowing Kindred to have an open shot. Appreciate Gordy manning the microphone over on the sideline. Inbound pass coming on the baseline. King just throws a shoulder to Sutton and then loses the dribble. Has to get on the floor. Harrell comes out of there with it. Harrell trying to throw it to Sutton. Officials say it was tipped by Newcastle. It's Carl Albert basketball. We're in the Patrick Newby Farmers Insurance third period. Carl Albert leads by 1 after trailing by 3 at halftime. 12-8 scoring advantage for Carl Albert in the third period. Most of that coming out from the outside. A couple of threes made by Carl Albert here in this third period. Harrell defended by Tolliver. Trap set by Young. Harrell in trouble, and a foul called on Newcastle.
Thought Coach Ritchie wanted a timeout, but nope, you're right.
He was coming to call the timeout when the official blew the whistle. I'm like you. I didn't know if he was calling a timeout or a foul, but he called the foul on Kindred, I believe. Her third personal.
I thought she already had 3.
I thought so, too. Maybe it was on Tolliver. Tolliver has 2 now.
Nope.
I think it was
on Kindred
Tolliver.
had 3, so it wasn't on her.
Kari Brown, back iron, 3 no good. Ball goes out of bounds, and it's going to Newcastle. No, it's going to Carl. Yeah, it's going to Newcastle, right? Yeah, okay. Yep. Not sure what Chloe Young, pretty upset. Her fans come over to cool her down.
And her teammates. We haven't seen King get a lot of touches. I think Zoe Johnson's been denying her the ball, and they haven't really tried to do anything about it. Now she gets a handoff.
King going right, Johnson on D, driving into the paint. Johnson gets a hold of it. I thought that was going to be a jump ball, but Johnson gets called for the foul.
It's interesting watching those two go at it because I know that a couple months ago, Amara King was a guest on Zoe's dad's podcast. And now she's going head-to-head with his daughter. It's got to be an interesting feeling for him.
Kindred defended by Plunkett. Screen set by Sims. Kindred goes up, and a foul called on Sutton. That'll be her third, possibly. 3 fouls on Kinley Sutton now. 5 fouls on Carl Albert, 4 on Newcastle. So both teams in the bonus for the rest of the Patrick Newby Farmers Insurance third period.
Well, when we look up, we're looking at the scoreboard that has the players' points and fouls.
Kindred misses the HMS Cooling, Heating, Plumbing free throw. Sutton takes a seat. Malia Hatchett checks into the game.
One thing we haven't seen much of, we haven't seen Zaya Sims do a whole lot, and she hasn't gotten many offensive rebounds because Carl's did a good job boxing her out.
Kindred hits the second free throw and ties it up 34-all.
And, she really tried to get good position on Plunkett. May have gotten a rebound if it was missed to her side. Doesn't matter, though, because the free throw went in. And what a game we have right now.
Minute 38 after some blowout games earlier today. We've got a close competitive back-and-forth game. The Howell Lady Lions won the 2A state championship in the game before this one. The Washington Lady Warriors won the 3A championship in the earlier game today. Kindred to King.
Nice pass.
Off the glass. Newcastle's back on top.
Kindred's been so good this third quarter.
The Norman Tigers won the 6A boys championship last night, and the Putnam City North Lady Panthers won the 6A girls championship. In 4A, it was the Lincoln Christian Lady Bulldogs winning the 4A state championship, and the Cassia Hall Commandos winning the boys 4A state championship.
That's a cool nickname.
They got a bulldog in their logo, but go by the Commandos. Plunkett for the Bobby Lewis Insurance 3.
The bank was open.
Lead for Carl Albert. Mara King driving in. Foul called on Plunkett. Plunkett picks up her third.
He'll make or miss for Carl Albert. If Newcastle gets a rebound, if King can get the rebound or the inbounds pass off a make, when she can have a full head of steam, we're talking from 75 feet and out, once she picks up that momentum, that's when she can be real effective, and Carl Albert needs to try to have a player in position to draw a charge. But you know what? King's not an easy player to draw a charge on, really. She did draw. There is one on her this game.
Amara King hits the HMS Cooling Heating Plumbing free throw, ties it up 37-all. She can give Newcastle the lead back with 34 seconds left to play in this Patrick Newby Farmers Insurance third period.
Paranovic for Newcastle not taking out Kindred. This would be a time you take out a player who's in foul trouble when there's less than a minute to go and they're about to play defense.
Tied up as King misses the free throw and Harrell gets the rebound. Oh, Brown careful there. She caught that ball from Harrell and took another step. There was no call on it. Brown just holding the ball, waiting for time to tick down here as we near the end of the third. 10 seconds on the clock. Harrell sets up the offense. Tolliver on D. Zoe Johnson on the left wing. Kindred on D. Johnson pivots, goes around off the glass, misses a shot. And that'll bring an end to the third. As we go to the final frame of this one, Jordan, who has the lead? Nobody. It's tied up 37-all. What a ball game here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray, Gordy Jones back at OG&E Coliseum, 37-all to begin the fourth period. 5A Girls State Championship. Carl Albert, Newcastle. Gordy Jones on the sideline behind the Newcastle bench. What you got for us, Gordy?
All right, Coach P just really wants to make sure that they can kind of get off on this offensive set, Tracy. Really what he wanted to do was trying to focus on seeing if they can kind of get loose, get some open looks for these shooters. If he could get some spacing on that floor, what he was saying is to try to see if they can kind of hit these shooters immediately, trying to catch Coach Carl Albert off guard on that defensive end. But what he really wants to emphasize is, like I said, just trying to find that open man and seeing if they can get some open shots and space the floor just a little bit more.
Jakari Brown with the ball in her hands to start the fourth period. This fourth period brought to you by Titan Secure Storage. Carl Albert again tied up 37-all with Newcastle. The Titan Secure Storage is our fourth quarter sponsor, a veteran operator-owned business in East Oklahoma City. It's their honor and responsibility to serve the community with care. Lots of discount options at Titan Secure Storage. Your treasures are not just secure, they're Titan Secure. Visit them at www.titanstorage.com or call 405-987-8673 for more information. Titan Secure Storage. 30-second timeout called by Coach Kyle Ritchie. The Carl Albert Titans 24 seconds into this fourth period.
Very quick timeout to call after the beginning of a quarter. But Carl Albert was going against the Newcastle 2-3 zone, and I missed whether it was Zoe Johnson or someone else for Carl Albert. Had the ball in an uncomfortable spot. I didn't think there was about to be a jump ball or anything like that, but something about that had Coach Ritchie, I don't want to say panic, but concern him enough to use a timeout to save that possession. Of course, Carl Albert still has 3, so they're in good shape with timeouts.
Kinley Sutton in the game instead of Malia Hatchett to start the fourth period. So interesting changes there in that lineup. Sutton dribbling around Sims, kicks the ball back out, and a double dribble call.
Double dribble, yeah.
On Sutton.
Sims is fired up. She only has 2 points.
Looking at our stats, leading score after 3. And that is halftime stats.
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't mention that. They're only going to have halftime and post-game stats.
Okay. Was looking for third quarter stats, didn't get any. Sims puts up a shot, and it's good. Newcastle gets the first bucket of the fourth period and the lead, 39-37.
And I said Sims has been quiet, only 2 points. She's doubled that right when I was talking about it, or right after I was talking about it.
Sutton kicks the ball out to Brown, who has to chase down a wide pass. Johnson driving in, back to Brown. Brown thought about the 3. Salas closed in on her. Harrell resets the offense. Carl Albert with the floor spread now. Harrell, Sutton in the corner for 3. Boom! It's a Bobby Lewis Fisher's 3 over the extended hands of Amara King, and Carl Albert's back on top.
Fortunately for Sutton, she didn't see King. And King just falls down. No foul call. That will still be Newcastle ball. What a back-and-forth game. You know, we were mentioning Carl Albert looking at a 26-year drought. It's only a 10-year drought right now for Newcastle. They won a 4A state title for girls basketball in 2016.
So just an interesting development on the court. Amara King driving in, ball's knocked loose, it goes out of bounds. She falls to the floor, and she's laying there like she's hurt. When her teammates come over and say, hey, they called it out of bounds, our ball, she looks at them and smiles and gets up. Trying to sell a foul. These high school kids know how to do it as well.
I kind of don't blame her because I think sometimes she gets called for fouls that are ticky-tack.
King drives in, puts up the floater, and Plunkett knocks it out.
That time she just lost it. So she's fortunate there that she has, in this possession, has fallen down once, and another time she just lost the ball going up for a shot. And in both times, Newcastle retains possession as they're about to throw it in.
Inbound play to Kindred. She hits the bucket, and it's a 1-point lead for Newcastle. This entire game has been back and forth, and they're swapping leads right now.
Well, she has 9 points, and almost all of it but 2 is this half. And she's had some assists this half as well.
Jakari Brown out top of the ball, Salas on D.
Well, I should say she has 9 points this half. Now she has 11 total.
Brown for 3, front of the rim. Rebound Zoe Johnson. Johnson for 3. Boom! It's a Bobby Lewis insurance 3. Oh, it was 2. Had her foot on the line.
But what happened there is she got an offensive rebound on a missed 3, and that's one of the things that Carl Albert, as a team, is really good at.
They got the scoreboard wrong again. They added 4 points to the scoreboard.
What should the score be, 42-41?
I believe it's what it should be.
It.
There we go. I don't know how you add 4 points to the board.
Oh, a big charge.
It's a foul.
Jordan Richardson had Sims open. It was going to be a layup.
Is that on Richardson?
Should be.
It is. Her first foul. Interesting that she's going to take a seat with only 1 foul now as Tolliver checks in.
Well, maybe to get her a little calm and focused. That may have been a sub that's going to happen anyway, as even though they don't have Reagan Greenwood, Newcastle rotates in 3 guards basically for 2 positions.
Johnson, defended by Tolliver, hands the ball off to Brown. Brown switches over onto, Tolliver switches over onto Brown. Brown taking her time now. A 1-point lead for Carl Albert. Brown driving, gets around Tolliver, and what's the call? Foul on the floor before the bucket.
I'm surprised that's not continuation, but big break for Newcastle because she made the shot, and that would have been a potential 3-point play.
Sutton takes the inbound pass, gives it to Johnson. Still a 1-point lead for Carl Albert. 4.5 minutes to play in the Titans secure storage fourth period. Harrell trying to get around Tolliver. Tolliver stays in front of her. Harrell doing a good job of not handing that off to Brown in traffic. Now Johnson driving around Kindred, misses the layup, and a foul called. Harrell being the benefactor of it. Not the she didn't cause the foul, she drew the foul on Kindred. Fourth personal foul on Kalani Kindred.
Well, that's going to limit Kindred's ability to penetrate there, but when Newcastle's on offense. But it's a good drive by Zoe Johnson that drew two defenders, and no one was around the ball when the ball hit the ground, and Hayden Harrell was the one who came in for a big second chance opportunity for Carl Albert.
Jakari Brown misses a layup. Sims with the rebound. Had a nice look from Zoe Johnson to Brown. Brown just couldn't complete the play. Sims.
No call, no. Yeah, okay. I thought they were going to call a charge on
Kindred.
However, it's a big call that they called it at all. And Sims is frustrated that the foul was called on Carl Albert because she had an easy 2 points.
The foul was called, I think, on Sutton. That's her fourth personal foul. Yeah, I thought they were going to call a charge on Kindred there, which would have fouled her out of the game and would not have been a good call. Tolliver takes the inbound pass, backs up, hands off to Chloe Young, who's back in the game now for Newcastle. Johnson on D. Young falls down.
Timeout.
And a timeout called by Coach Peranovic. Coach Peranovic lobbying the officials for something that he doesn't like on the floor. Coach Ritchie lobbying another official for something he's not certain about on the floor.
Gordy, are the coaches, players, fans, who seems a little more intense right now?
Definitely Newcastle seems like they have the edge right now. Carl Albert is definitely get into it. You see the student section is kind of lively, but at the same time, you can see both teams are a little bit more intense right now. Not really sure what happened with Zaya Sims on that last one, but seems she had to come out the ball game just to calm down a little bit. But yeah, you can see, like I said, there is a little bit of intensive pressure right now here on Kyle Ritchie and the Carl Albert Titans.
The Newcastle fans on their feet for most of this game, and I look across the stadium. Are the Carl Albert fans a little more used to being here? They're not as intense, not as
But they haven't been here, well, for a general state title game, yes. For a girls basketball state title game, it's been 17 years. So
not many of them on their feet right now, but
they're kind of subdued. It's interesting, but they are used to winning national state titles in other sports. I'm sure many of the fans here were at the football game at UCO, the softball game that they won state at this year.
Nice drive by Kindred. She goes on the baseline, and Newcastle's back up by 1, 43-42.
You know, Sutton is the best Carl Albert player at drawing charges, and she's out with 4 fouls, and no one else was in position for that. Or no, is Sutton still in?
She is in,
but
yes.
Okay, she's in, but she cannot take the gamble of drawing a charge.
Exactly.
So that opened up the floor for Kindred. I thought she was going to be out.
Harrell to Brown. Brown sets up the offense. Tolliver on D. Tolliver and Young out at top of that zone defense. Brown taking her time, goes right. Sutton sets a screen. Hand off to Johnson. Johnson dribbles all the way around the top. Back to Brown on the corner. Carl Albert being very patient here, trailing by 1 with 2:40 to play in the ball game.
And you want Jakari Brown creating right now, I think. Maybe Plunkett, but Plunkett hasn't done that as much.
Jakari Brown on the left wing, looking inside. Not a lot of movement away from the ball right now by the Carl Albert offense. Johnson in the corner, around 2 defenders, out to Plunkett for 3, front of the rim, rebound Kindred. King to Young all alone, and it's a 3-point lead for Newcastle.
They chose to leak out on that 3 because they got height and good rebounds. Coach Rich is going to call a timeout. And Young, off the 3-point attempt by Plunkett, took off. They rebounded the missed shot. I think King got the rebound and for a big team, Newcastle's really good at pushing the ball in transition.
3-point lead for Newcastle as we're nearing the final minutes of this game on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray, Gordy Jones. 2 minutes left to play in this one. Newcastle has a 3-point lead over Carl Albert, 45-42. Girls 5A state championship at OG&E Coliseum. Jakari Brown on the left wing.
And Newcastle staying in the 2-3 zone. Not the best defense to defend against the three-point shot. The players have to be very aware of where the Carl Albert shooters are spotting up.
Salas runs through Kinley Sutton. Brown from the elbow, shot's no good. Sims with the rebound. Sims falls down.
She just fell down on her own.
Plunkett picks it up, and a foul's called on Newcastle.
I don't know what happened with Sims there, but she wasn't fouled. I know that. And that is a huge turnover because you're really have a chance of taking command here. And Kindred may have fouled out. Boy, that fall down by Sims, she's going to be beside herself again because that led to Kindred fouling out.
It is a foul on Kalani Kindred. She is the facilitator on offense for this Newcastle Lady Racers team. Jordan Richardson will come back into the ball game now. Richardson Kalani Kindred giving Richardson a pep talk.
And now King is talking to Sims, or Sims is talking to King. I don't know which one. But they got to get their headspace right because that's a frustrating sequence. But they still have a 3-point lead. May become one here in a moment. Oh, Plunkett.
Plunkett misses the Toonie Bike Houses free throw. Interesting note as Richardson checks into the game. I don't believe at halftime she had no points. I don't believe she's picked any up in the second half. Really interesting for Jordan Richardson. Plunkett's second shot is good, and it's a 2-point ball game. 45-43, a minute and a half to play. Harrell all over Salas in the backcourt. Plunkett tips it away, throws it in. Harrell chases it down.
Harrell may have had a layup.
Brown for three, front of the rim, shot no good. Sims with the rebound. Plunkett gets called for the foul as she kind of hacks Sims from behind. That's only the second team foul on Carl Albert.
I so thought that three was going in. Jakari Brown is money, and she was open. But now Newcastle has to worry about the Carl Albert press. And both teams are capable of pressing pretty well. Now, did they call a foul on Sutton, or is she just coming out for defense?
No, it was on Plunkett.
Okay. Plunkett did a good job. Oh.
Right down the court, no problem for Newcastle. Tolliver and Richardson play catch. Richardson defended by Harrell, staying all over. Passes the ball off Chloe Young. And King's going to fall down. A foul call on Carl Albert. I don't know about the call, and I get it from behind why it was called, but not sure on that one.
I was looking down when that happened because I wanted to double-check Plunkett. She's got 4 fouls, so whatever happens for Carl Albert, Plunkett cannot foul if they need to be aggressive in any way or go ahead and foul on purpose. They're not there yet, and Newcastle will not shoot free throws, but at some point they made it foul. Oh, they turn it over.
On the inbound play, Jakari Brown with it. She's going right to the hole, and King blocks the shot out of bounds.
Yeah, King's pretty happy with herself, but you need that ball back. So it's still a bad play for Newcastle because they block out of bounds.
Carl Albert with an inbound play on the baseline. Malia Hatchett back in the game. No, Malia Hatchett's going to the bench. Kinley Sutton checks back in, and Jakari Brown will inbound.
Sutton the better three-point shooter.
She takes the inbound pass, fires the three off the glass, no good. Rebound by Harrell. Jump ball going to Newcastle.
Man, Carl Albert has had some opportunities. Sutton had a good look. The three-point shot's drying up a bit.
Now Hatchett comes back in. Sutton takes a seat for defense.
That's exactly what that sub is for. But Newcastle has not taken care of the ball very well, and they've been fortunate that Carl Albert has not shot well.
Richardson inbounds. Tolliver back to Richardson. Full court pressure. Harrell with her. Down the court. Harrell slapping at the ball. And Plunkett takes it away. Jump ball goes to Carl Albert.
You know, I think Newcastle really needs to get the ball to King with momentum going towards the basket. They need to forget about running clock. And their guards, this is one of the things that you expect with Newcastle, that they may be at their weakest at. Not that it's a weak thing, a weakness necessarily, but compared to their other strengths is their guard play against the press. And they just don't deal with it very often because most of their games are blowouts.
Got a timeout called. Both teams playing the player shuffle for offense, defense. Richardson takes a seat. Sims checks back in for defense and rebounding. We've got a timeout called. And with 44 seconds left to play in this tight, secure storage fourth period, Carl Albert has the ball trailing by 2 here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rolling.
This looks like you need our number in your phone. This could be you.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray, Gordy Jones back at OG&E Coliseum. We got 40 seconds left to play in this one. It's a 2-point lead for Newcastle over Carl Albert. Girls 5A championship. Gordy, you're over behind the Newcastle bench.
Yes,
What's
sir.
going on in the timeout?
Yes, sir. Coach P really wanted us to emphasize making sure that the Racers get at least just one stop on this possession. Really said he wanted to be sure to not commit any fouls, but like I said before, wanted to make sure that they keep Carl Albert right at bay and don't foul any of the players. Like I said, just making sure to create one opportunity where they can at least get one shot off.
Zoe Johnson with the ball. Hands off to Harrell. We're down to 30 seconds left. Again, a 2-point deficit for Carl Albert. They have the ball in their hands. Plunkett defended by Sims outside. That seems like a mismatch to me, but Plunkett's guard abilities. Now Brown on the left wing. We're down to 15 seconds. Carl Albert taking up the clock, and a foul called on
That's going to be free throws. Newcastle has 4.
That's the 5th foul on Newcastle. Jakari Brown can tie this game up at the line with 12 seconds left. Toonie Buys Houses free throws coming. Call Toonie Buys Houses at 405-931-3046.
That was an unfortunate one, fellas. That's exactly what Coach P was trying to emphasize in that timeout.
Brown's first free throw is good.
Well, I don't think we can keep it here for this one. Yeah, as soon as I saw a timeout was called, I knew it had to be by Newcastle because you never call this timeout when your player's about to shoot. You don't want to think about it that long. On the flip side, that's probably one reason why Coach Perinovic called a timeout. And he's going to draw up something for his team in case there's a make. But the main thing they want to do is give the ball to King and try to get her in space. And Carl Albert knows this. And so we're going to see if Coach Ritchie, does he spend any time in this huddle addressing what will happen if Brown misses the free throw? Or is it all going to be, we know she's going to make it, which I think she will because she's a good free throw shooter and has played an outstanding game. But what happens then? Or what happens when she does make it? How do you want to defend here? Are they going to keep pressing?
Well, you want to do, you don't want to foul, just like Coach Perinovic told Newcastle, because you don't want to put Newcastle at the line. But then again, if you miss it, do you want to foul early to leave a little time and a chance to get the ball back, right?
Yeah, and Carl Albert has a timeout. They may take this after she makes it, if she makes it.
Brown's free throw is up, and it's good. It's a tie ball game. 45 all, 12 seconds on the clock, full court pressure. King down the court, in the front court, going all the way, dishes, and an offensive foul called on Amara King. Who draws the foul? Kinley Sutton.
Yeah, well, you know what? When you're that late in the game, you don't care about whether you have 5 or not.
And Amara King is down on the sideline. I don't know if she's physically hurt, emotionally hurt, but she's down on the sideline. It was a big collision. Kinley Sutton got up slowly. King's getting to her feet with the help of Sims and Salas now. It's a tie game with 7 seconds left, and Carl Albert gets the ball.
You know, the charges that Carl Albert has drawn, with Sutton being the main one, have been on passes by Newcastle. So the refs have been calling that charge after a Newcastle player passes the ball to a teammate, and you don't always see that, but they've called it quite a bit this game, and that has been a major factor. And King she's got to be, she's more upset emotionally than I think she is physically hurt, although she is in some pain.
And the game is not lost by any means. It's a tie game, 45 all, 7 seconds exactly on the clock. Timeout call on the court. We've got Gordy Jones over behind the Carl Albert bench this time. So after we get a chance for Coach Kyle Ritchie to give some instructions, Gordy, you can hear what's going on over there. Any surprises from Coach Ritchie right now?
No surprises right now. Coach Ritchie really just trying to make sure to draw up the proper play so they can try to execute here in this last few seconds.
If I'm Newcastle, I sell out on both Johnson and Brown. Don't let them catch it. That's hard to do that with 2 players. Who would that leave? Maybe Plunkett. But so maybe what you have to do is, if neither of those 3 inbound it, whoever that 4th player is that's not inbounding for Carl Albert, leave them open. But I would not let Jakari Brown or Zoe Johnson catch it.
If you're Coach Ritchie, are you instructing your girls to try to draw the contact and get to the free throw line?
It's worked for them. I think you want to get a good shot at the rim, and you really want some. They're all right-handed, the Carl Albert players. You want someone going to the right.
7 seconds and the full length of the court to go. Audrey Plunkett inbounding the ball for Carl Albert. No pressure on the inbound.
They're letting her roll it. That's a mistake for Newcastle.
Plunkett picks it up near midcourt. Brown gets around Salas, puts up a shot and hits it.
That's it. They won it.
The Carl Albert Lady Titans are your 5A state champions. Jakari Brown coming up big, tying it at the line, hitting the 8-foot jumper at just with seconds left on the clock. Carl Albert Lady Titans winning the 5A state championship. What a game. What execution down the stretch.
And what a way for a senior like Jakari Brown to go off. I think do I have the final score? We can't. Oh, there it is. Yeah, we see it. It's right.
Great sportsmanship out on the court. Audrey Plunkett helping Amara King. Audrey Plunkett foregoes the team celebration to help Amara King to her feet and then giving her a big hug at the end of the game. We have 47-45 the final score. The Carl Albert Lady Titans winning the state championship here at OG&E Coliseum today. That's the first 5A state championship ever in this facility. Back and forth game the entire time, Jordan. Gordy Jones down on the sideline, maybe out on the court with the teams as they celebrate.
Just here on the sideline, fellas, watching all the celebration right now. Just big win. Huge shot there for Jakari Brown. Just so happy for these Titans. I mean, what a way to go out on your senior year. Just can't imagine.
A 26-year drought. Think about all the Carl Albert teams that have won state. In girls sports, softball, many times, girls swimming.
You know, I'm excited for all of these.
Probably track and volleyball, I don't know for sure. But 26-year drought for girls basketball.
Excited for all these seniors. Got to say, I'm getting to know Coach Ritchie this year. I'm really proud for him. Excited for him to get the state championship as well. Jakari Brown, Audrey Plunkett, the 2 seniors on the roster for the Carl Albert Titans. The seniors on the Newcastle roster who find their seasons coming to an end today as state runner-ups. Bella Allen Reagan Greenroyd, the only two seniors on that roster. So
yeah, and who knows what would have happened if Reagan Greenroyd didn't get hurt.
What a difference that could have made in the game, right?
A 2-point game, you can't say for sure what would have happened, but it would have been nice for Newcastle. They will be back. If they bring all their non-seniors back, that's always the if, and they stay healthy, that's the other if, they will be back.
Every player that stepped on the court today for Newcastle will be back in a high school uniform next year.
Yes. And I think they will stay because Newcastle's destination place, and they could be the best girls team in the state. But the difference here was Carl Albert, senior leadership, particularly from Jakari Brown, and Newcastle. It wasn't free throws, but they had the ball lead many times in this fourth quarter stretch, and they turned the ball over thanks to a bad sideline out-of-bounds play, thanks to a jump ball. And I feel bad for Zia Sims because when she got a rebound and fell down, that led to Kindred fouling out because she couldn't retain the ball. And I don't know what it was made her lean forward too much to try to find a passing angle or whatever, but that's going to eat at her for a long time. And but hey, what we see for Carl Albert, Coach Ritchie getting hugged by Mike Dunn, who's already won 4 state titles, and now Coach Ritchie will get his first. And the other thing about Carl Albert girls that makes me happy, well, I've gotten to know Coach Ritchie for over 5 years now, and there's few other coaches you could be more happy for than him. And for whatever reason, he's had some good players move out before they use up their eligibility. He's had sophomores and juniors leave the program, leave Carl Albert. Some of it's probably for other reasons. I've thought about how this team could have had Essence Curry on the team, who went to Choctaw. We got Skylar Anderson, who went to Dale. And more recently, you see it, Jordan Richardson in Newcastle. And they could have, without those players, but you know what? He never seems that frustrated with it. He rolls with the punches. And despite not having those players, his team stepped up and just played outstanding postseason basketball. I mean, they dominated all the teams but Newcastle. And against Newcastle, the first game, they made a lot of mistakes in the fourth quarter. This game, they made the plays. And it was without the three-point shot, too. And think about it, they were trailing by 2 with less than 10 seconds to go, and they go from that to winning in overtime.
Yeah, just absolutely amazing. The finish here today, Jakari Brown, we haven't made mention, but our Whataburger player of the game, brought to you by Whataburger on Southeast 15th Street in Midwest City, where you build your Whata deal today at Whataburger with the big ranch wrap, premium Whata chicken bites, with the bacon cheese Whataburger Junior. Eat big for just a little, only at Whataburger. Jakari Brown, clearly our Whataburger player of the game. She had a great game throughout, and then it was Jakari Brown closing it out as she hit the free throws to tie it up and with about 15 seconds left, and then hits the bucket with 2 seconds on the clock, maybe a second and a half, to give Carl Albert the victory today. Jakari Brown, a senior, a state champion, and your Whataburger player of the game. Those players being introduced on the court. Coach Ritchie was untucked for a little bit out there. You fans could see it. He's got the shirt tucked back in to present the state champion medals to the team.
We're going to hope to get interviews, maybe some of it live here, but we hope to record some interviews too. And with this game being exciting, who knows what to expect when the boys' teams take the court, but that's not until 6:40. We'll have some time to do some things between now and then. So we're going to try to get some interviews with Carl Albert's players and Coach Ritchie.
Just phenomenal job, and then we need to go ahead and make mention. Coach Ritchie always does it. We need to make mention as well. The assistant coaches for the Carl Albert Lady Titans were Robert Banks, Caitlin O'Hara, and the managers, Jakayla Brown and Hope Wilson. They do their job, keep things in place, make sure the resources are there for the team during the game and practice. Make sure we mention our managers, Jakayla Brown and Hope Wilson as well. And there's Coach Banks hoisting the gold ball along with the team. He's got plenty of reach to get it up high, doesn't he?
If he holds it high, no one's going to touch it. But obviously he won't do that for very long.
Now your players have it.
By the way, for Newcastle, player of the game, I believe, should be Kindred. That's
Kalani Kindred for the Newcastle Lady Racers had a phenomenal game. And our Newcastle player of the game sponsored by HMS Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, serving residential homes, commercial businesses in Newcastle and the entire metro area for more than 40 years. Roger, Karen, Chris, and the team would love to take care of your HVAC and plumbing needs. Don't stress, call HMS at 405-392-5413 or go to hmscomfort.com to view all their services. Don't forget to ask about the Comfort Keeper program that provides discounts to keep your system running smooth and reliable all year long. HMS Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, sponsoring the Newcastle player of the game, Kalani Kindred. She fell out of the game, but she was the one facilitating all the way through.
That was so massive. And it was kind of, in her case, wrong place at the wrong time with that foul out, and Newcastle had the ball, and again, Sims fell down, and that's tougher, but she'll be back. Kendra will be back, and they should be great. It's going to be tough for Coach or for Gordy to get an interview here, but we're going to, at some point, try when the players start to leave the floor.
Trying to see where is Gossie Gordy down here at the end now. He's just waiting for his opportunity. Gordy, you know, we've been talking about this game, and you said watch the whole game as well and didn't get to participate in all the commentary. What's your thoughts on how this game played out?
Really, I was really surprised at the end of the game, that ball roll. I think, you know, kind of being in a situation like that, I've kind of seen different situations when I was back playing, you know, a long time ago. You don't really have to let that player roll that ball. I was kind of really surprised that the Racers let that one roll for so long. Actually, if they could not want to interfere with that, they kind of might have slowed that ball down where Brown couldn't have drove it to the basket. But once she picked that one up, I kind of had a feeling like that Jakari Brown was on a mission. So it was really, like I said, just awesome to see Carl Albert be able to dig it out. So many ups and downs, especially that fourth quarter, so many back and forths. I was just really surprised and kind of shocked that Newcastle kind of, you know, not saying that they folded in the end, but just saying the way that kind of Newcastle kind of gave away some of those possessions in the end, kind of allowing Carl Albert to go ahead and win that ball game. Great game.
Great point on the roll. If you could point your finger to one mistake, and it's never one play,
right.
But if you could point your finger to a mistake at any point in the ball game, Newcastle allowing Carl Albert to roll that ball all the way to half court and then have the full 7 seconds in the front court, truly a decision that we questioned at the time, and now looking back with Carl Albert being the state champions, definitely have to question that as well.
Absolutely, and you know what's interesting is back to Jakari Brown, you know, she had a chance to win the game against Newcastle back 9 days ago when they played for the area championship. It was a tougher shot, but you know it was a makeable shot. Carver players are coming off now. They're going to go to the locker. Gordy, you got anything?
Yeah,
Coach Ritchie's still out there.
Yeah, Coach Ritchie's still out on the floor getting in an interview, so see if I can kind
Definitely intercept him like you intercept football passes.
No doubt.
Yeah, Gordy, just be aware as you get further away, if you're behind those metal bleachers.
Might give us some trouble.
If you do get any interviews back there in that back area, if you can get a line of sight around the bleachers, it would help.
No doubt. See if I can catch someone.
And Gordy, quite a ways away here in the arena. I think we got plenty of distance on our wireless microphone here, but we'll make
sure. Well, if everyone off, Gordy, if other people can interview Coach Ritchie, we should be allowed to as well. But
I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Coach Ritchie out on the court being interviewed. Camera's in his face right now. I do believe that might be an HMS camera, an FHS camera, I mean.
One of them, not all of them, yeah.
I believe we actually have possibly one of our OSN media guys down there.
Adam Gutierrez, yes.
Got a few of the Lady Titans down here celebrating. I'll try to see if I can catch a few.
We still hear you pretty good, actually, Gordy.
Nice and clear. Good sound.
All right. Oh, they're down here holding the gold ball.
Definitely, if you see number 15.
I do. Let's see.
You can get her attention. That'll be. Pretty cool.
Carl
There.
Albert.
I think they might get
Lady-
some pictures.
Carl Albert Lady Titans state champions again, folks. Final score 47-45 here today. They get the win over Newcastle Racers. Gordy?
Almost had Jakari Brown. They got to take some pictures real quick. Celebratory, of course.
They're going to come back on the floor. I thought they were heading to the locker. I was wrong.
Escorted off.
Now, I mentioned some of the players that left Carl Albert over the years, but that actually helped Jakari Brown a lot because she had to take a more assertive role the last 2 years, and I think it was good for her and put her in position to go win this game for Carl Albert. Don't forget the two made free throws, too.
No, absolutely. Those
To tie
tied
the
it up.
game, yeah.
That, in the last 30 seconds, she hit 2 free throws and hit the game winner, buzzer beater, if you will, to give Carl Albert Lady Titans the victory today. Ice in her veins. When she was going up for that shot, she was about 8 feet out on the left, and I had a defender right in front of her, had a height right in front of her, and she had to elevate a little bit, put it up over the outstretched hands of the defense. I was a little concerned about the shot selection, but of course there was only a couple of seconds left. Jakari Brown wasn't concerned, though. She knew what she was doing, and she put it in the hole for the win.
No, and she did it not with three-point shooting, but with getting, again, to her spots.
All right, guys. All right. Got number 15, the great high scorer, Jakari Brown, right here. Jakari Brown, congratulations from the Oklahoma Sports Network, and congratulations just on a phenomenal time at Carl Albert. In a moment like this, I know you're emotional right now. Kind of walk us through, those last few seconds.
Like I said, I thank my teammates. They trusted me. They said I'm getting the ball. So I had to deliver for them. I did it for them.
Well, you did a phenomenal job, Jakari. Just kind of touch on, the mission that you guys have been on, what you mean to this ball team and what this ball team means to you. Kind of touch on some of those moments.
Well, I love this group. It's always been we over me. We played team ball the whole season, and we did it.
Were you surprised that you guys were able to kind of gut that one out against a strong Newcastle team like that?
Yeah, we were surprised. It was a close game. They're a really good team, but we kept it together and we delivered.
Anything you want to say? Like I said, last year, senior year, anything that you want to say going out?
Hey, we the champs.
Champs, baby. Hey, congratulations. Good job, Sorry, one more.
All right, Gordy, just let us know when you're good, and we can move on from the stream.
Definitely. All right, I got Coach Richard here if you want to get him.
Absolutely.
All right. All right. We'll walk. Coach Cobb, got to give you a hug real quick. Congratulations, sir. Tell us about, you worked so hard, Coach, to get to this point. I've been watching forever. We've all been watching you forever. Just tell us, just in a moment like this, just tell us how you feel.
Jubilation. This is my home. We hadn't done it in 26 years. To bring one home, I'm standing right there. That's a legend right there that has supported me. Thank you, Mr. Honey.
The great Mr. Honey here.
I don't know what the last one was. I don't know what else to. It's just, I'm tired, Gordy. I'm tired.
Well, it's been a long mission. It's been a long mission. So many years that it's been since Carl Albert. Like I said, you guys have had a few trips, but this solidifies what you've done and how much you've meant to this program. Do you kind of want to touch on everything that you've been through and all the different teams that you've been through?
And this goes back to the Osha Moore, the R.E.D.S., Cameron, Kenny. The list. Asia. I could go through a million of them that helped get us to, making the state tournament, then winning a game, now getting to Saturday, and now bringing home the gold ball. This is for everybody that's ever played at Carl Albert. And now they're going to be up. If you've been to our school, there's pictures. I told these girls you're playing 32 minutes for each other. After this, history will always talk about this team.
Well, congratulations, Coach. Great job watching you this year. All right, guys, right back to you.
Gordy, thank you very much. And we're going to go and end this stream. We'll try to put some post-game stuff together for social media. There'll be a while before we go back on the air. We will have Carl Albert Newcastle boys. The scheduled start time, I believe, is 6:45. But, hey, what a game. If we're in store for another game like that, and like the two boys teams played 8 days ago at Piedmont, we will have a real treat for you just talking about it and hopefully getting post-game interviews for the winner. Congratulations on a great season for Newcastle girls. I know they're heartbroken right now. We look forward to seeing what is in store for this team next year. Carl Albert should have a good team next year as well. But we will definitely miss seeing Audrey Plunkett and Jakari Brown. What a career they had. And Jakari Brown especially, that moment. 4 points in the last 7 seconds to win the state championship for Carl Albert. All right, for Tracy Mussett, for Gordy Jones, I'm Jordan Ray. Thanks for watching and tuning in, not seeing the game itself, of course, but following the Girls 5A State Championship on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Thanks for watching this presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.